Something came from Baltimore, Baltimore, Baltimore. Something came from Baltimore, Baltimore, Baltimore.
Music star on the rise alert. I have Vanessa Collier on the phone with me today on Something Came from Baltimore. Vanessa is my first artist that I interviewed for the podcast twice. The first time was back in July 25th, 2019. The episode was called Vanessa Collier is Gonna Make You Cry. Vanessa's latest album was Honey Up, which was released in 2018. In the Baltimore area, Vanessa owns the blues scene as she blankets the tri-state with her live shows, and they all sell out. And today, I get to chat about her new recording, Heart on the Line. This collection is mint R&B soul with a good blues backbeat. Vanessa plays the sax on this recording, but she focuses on her vocals, and her tunes are catchy and solid. Before we chat with Vanessa Collier, let's listen to the lead track of the album. It's the James Brown classic, Super Bad.
I wanna drown myself with you. I got soul, and I'm super bad. I got soul, and I'm super bad. I'm a lover. Yes, I love to do my thing. And I don't need no one else now.
Vanessa Collier, welcome to Something Came from Baltimore.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be here.
As I just said, you were my first artist that I've talked to twice, and it wasn't really that you had anything new to talk about. The album that you had was Honey Up, and it was about a year old, and I was just so excited about how you were going up and down the tri-state area, and you were doing a lot of live shows, and you were selling out everywhere, and there's just such a buzz about you, and I just wanted to hold on to you at that point. And now you got a brand new album out, and it's very exciting that you got something out there.
Yeah, I'm, just like Honey Up, I think, you're just looking to progress as an artist and have each record represent you in that moment in time. And I'm very, very excited and very proud of this last record. I feel like it's, even more a statement of who I am. And I'm just really proud of the production and the songs and everything. I really, really love this record.
What I hear on this album is a couple things. It seems that you've put down the sax a little and focused more on the vocal productions.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think it is just how the songs went. I focused more on the songwriting, and I think that's what happened. Probably you would have heard that there on Honey Up. It's just not as pronounced, I think. And yeah, definitely. I think I was taking more of a songwriter approach to everything. So it wasn't about like hitting you in the face with something like really, really, really strong. I felt like I did that on Honey Up, and I wanted this one to be more about the subtleties. And then, of course, I think just the vocal work, the stuff that I heard in my head, and part of that is because I finished it. Like, I came off the road in March, and I thought I was going to release it in May, and was under the clock, and then I was no longer under the clock. It didn't make sense to release a record. So I really got to sit at home, which is where I'm most comfortable, and flush out, all the vocal stuff that I don't always get to because I always make records under a deadline. I just feel like I finally got to get it to the point where these songs feel done to me. I've added all this little nuanced sweetening stuff, and there's a lot of, and I think I focus on the horn arrangements as well. I just wanted the whole picture. So yeah, I think there's a little bit less solos, saxophone, like long 3-minute solos and stuff like that. I think that just the way the record came out, the songs needed that,
Yeah, you have a real emphasis on the horns. That gives a good sax vibe to it on some of the songs. Some country vibe to some of the songs, and you got like a New Orleans swing. So and there's a little go-go in there. So I mean, you really brought out all the different styles. It's pretty awesome.
Listen, I was like very much not bound by genre. I was just kind of like, let me just write songs, and I feel like the production is sort of what ties it all together, We're going to just go right into the track. Super Bad is a James Brown, classic. You started off, and in the background, you got a little go-go percussion on the track. You changed the whole kind of vibe to the song. What did you decide to play that song and kind of rearrange it? I think what kind of inspired me is sort of like Lettuce and Soul Live, like those kind of groups. And I just had that in my head, like for a number of years. It was a voice memo on my phone of how I wanted to redo Superbad. And for this record, I just felt like it was the right time. I really wanted to do a funk. I love reimagining funk tunes, and James Brown is the king. So I just figured, hey, let me give this a shot, and we'll see what happens. And I think it came together with the horns and the percussion and all of that. It's like more of a slower take on what James Brown would have done live, which is like take it even faster than the record most of the time. So I kind of just went the other way with it.
I got soul, I'm super bad. I'm a lover, yes, I love to do my thing, and I don't need no one else now. Sometimes I feel so nice, a good guy, jump back, I wanna kiss myself, yeah. I said I got soul.
What Makes You Beautiful has a great Stax like R&B vibe, like kind of a girl group, like a real kind of cool retro 60s.
Everyone, when we recorded it, they were like, yep, that's the song. That's my favorite. That's the one that sticks out. And same thing with my mix engineer, Rich. He was just like, yep, that's the one. And I think I put out What Makes You Beautiful as a single first through my website. Yeah.
Like me. And I know it gets hard sometimes. And I know people try to bring you down. There's one thing that I know can't hide. What makes you beautiful?
I Don't Want Anything to Change is a Bonnie Raitt song from 2005. It's the first time I think you tackled a Bonnie Raitt song. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, the other one is Love Me Like a Man is on Honey Up, which of course she made famous, but she didn't write it. This one is actually written by three Nashville songwriters, but I think she's made it, again, I think she's made it famous. And hers is the version that I like. She does a version with Norah Jones on this live album. And that's the first time I heard it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's two of my favorite people. This is a beautiful song. Like, just the way they each phrased it made me cry. And I started to do it live for a while. I haven't done it in a couple of years, but I was like, it's kind of time to put that on a record.
I don't want anything to change. You left a mess, you're everywhere. Pick it up, but I don't dare. I don't want anything to change. I don't want anything.
If Only to me is it's so damn catchy. I can't get this song out of my head. It's kind of a wordplay. If only I could have everything I want, maybe I might be happy. That's kind of a miserable person that you could give everything in the world to me and I still might not be happy.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was what I was going for. I think I've definitely known people like that through my life, and that's kind of was the point. It's like just trying to point out, hey, little things, the sun coming out behind the clouds can make you happy. Walking out your door, realizing that you're still breathing. I mean, all these things, and I kind of wanted to. I had this line, if only. I sort of had the chorus first, and then I wrote the story to it. It's just thinking about somebody who can't get out of their own way to make themselves happy. And that one was another one that I was just like, it was super fun to produce that one because I kept it really, really simple until the very end, and I wanted it to sort of like blossom and feel like everything really opened up and got big with the horns and the background vocals coming in. So it's another favorite of a guitar player that I was just playing that with. He was just like, I just can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear these things.
Yeah, it's very possible that when I die, instead of saying Rosebud, I'll be saying If Only. It's that catchy.
He said, if only I was given the stars. If only I was fed nothing but catchy. everything I want. Only then could I be happy.
I have to think that the Weep and Moan is probably the most technical, and there's a lot of stuff going on this song, and it's hot. It's a hot song to me, and from beginning to end, I think it's pretty amazing. Am I wrong by saying that was this a difficult song to produce, or did it come easy? It seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in it.
There is a lot of stuff going on in it. You know, of course, there's background vocals, horns, and then there's some great guitar work. Laura Chavez does a fantastic job. It's sort of New Orleans dirgy, but it's also bluesy, like slow blues, Ray Charles. I mean, there's a lot of things in there, and I think that was more the hardest one for me because I actually find it's more difficult to play more straight up the middle, like blues stuff. You know, I always want to do something interesting, and I think that's kind of where the arrangement came in. But you know, yes, there are a ton of things going on. I felt like that was probably the hardest for me to write lyrics for, and you know, thankfully it all came together, and that's just I feel very happy about that. A lot of people love that song, especially in the blues realm. They tell me that they love that one. So again, I'm happy to hear it. You know.
Hard on the Line is the name of the album. It's a great sing-along. It has like almost a 70s country vibe to it. But then towards the end, it turns into this like Orleans horn stomp, like you are like on a Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's unexpected, but I love this song also.
Sure, yeah. You know, it's funny, when we left the studio, I think this was probably the weakest arrangement of all of them. I had originally named the album something else, and basically just going through and adding horns and adding vocals and whatever. And then I had Cornell Williams from New Orleans come and redo some of the bass stuff because it's in his blood, you know. So I was trying to get the New Orleans feel, and I've watched him. He's with John Cleary, and I love John Cleary's stuff, and I was like, this is right up his alley. So I reached out and on a Hail Mary and was like, hey, you know, play on this track for me. And he recorded it, and then the whole track just blossomed for me. I think it was one of the earlier ones that I wrote, and what I like about it is it's kind of talking about somebody who gives so much of themselves that eventually they have to realize that they can't give anymore. They have to like turn inward and take care of themselves so that they can go back and give. And it was just, it was interesting timing with all this because I released it and I kind of released it as a thank you to all the health workers and everybody essential workers who were out there and just like constantly working for people suffering from COVID and just kind of risking their lives every single day. And, of course, when I wrote it, it didn't serve that purpose, but it's supposed to uplift. It's supposed to like make you dance, and regardless of where you are, it's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna go find my groove again. That's kind of the song, and it's the send off for the end of the record.
I'm going home, kicking my shoes off, pouring a glass of red wine. I'm going home, gonna say no.
Hard on the Line. It's a new recording from you, Vanessa Collier. I thank you so much for chatting with me on Something Came from Baltimore.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi, it's Tom Gauker, and I am the host of Something Came from Baltimore. Something Came from Baltimore is a words and music podcast, and it has famous and future famous artists. Artists like Sean Jones, Rupert Holmes, Auntie Hammy, Joey DeFrancesco, Go-Go Penguin, Joey Alexander, Bucanti, Gerald Albright, Paula Cole, and Kat Edmondson. It's music that matters. It's music for your ears. Listen and subscribe to Something Came from Baltimore and be a part of that Be More music scene.
Something came from Baltimore.